If you put $10,000 into XRP December 1st of 2015 at 0.004 cents, and if you sold XRP by January 4th of 2018 at nearly $3, you would have been in profit over 74,000% and had over $7.4 million. So if you hold just 1,000 XRP right now or XLM, will you be a millionaire in 2023? A Wells Fargo manager is predicting the XRP price to hit $500, and here's when. And according to a report by Wall Street TV predicting XRP to reach over $8,033 by 2025, Bitcoin to reach $942,000, and Ethereum to reach $43,000. Now, will we see something like this take place leading into 2025? Or are all these XRP to the moon tweets simply just a pipe dream? So in this video, we're going to talk about an XRP price prediction for 2023. Also, the IMF has already set the price for XRP. We have to talk about SBI Holdings. We have a bunch of news to bring to you guys in this video on what's taking place in the markets right now and what you need to be ready for to stay ahead of the game before the wave of adoption hits this industry. So comment 777 if you're feeling blessed. Comment 777 if you're feeling bullish. As always, this is not financial advice. No investing advice. This is strictly for educational purposes only. Don't buy, don't sell any cryptocurrency. I'm going to bring you the news in this video that you're going to love. And if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, you know what to do. Confirm it by tapping that subscribe button, tapping that like button, and let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So with XRP sitting at 47 cents right now, $25.4 billion market cap, Bitcoin sitting at $26,000, a $500 XRP is very far off from where we are right now. But is that a fair price prediction, or is that just a pipe dream? Because with an expert saying that the $250 trillion projection for cross-border sector, that's what would catapult XRP to this prediction. So will it actually happen? You know, I've seen these crazy predictions all over Twitter pop up every single day. This one's saying $8,000, and it says Ripple at $8,000. So is it talking about XRP, or is it talking about Ripple's ICO or IPO? That they're not an ICO, an IPO that they could be announcing at their party in New York this month. And so what we're looking at right here for XRP on the price chart right here is a symmetrical triangle similar to what happened back in 2016 to 2017. Now, if I were to measure from when XRP rallied up in October of 2016 to almost a penny before it broke out, you know, it took about 150 days before it broke to the upside. And so where we are right now for XRP from this rally right here, if we were to measure that, 60 days into XRP dropping after the lawsuit. So if we were to measure out about 150 days, that would put us around December of 2023 towards the end of this year. So could we be seeing something similar to this play out, where this bearish sell-off for XRP continues for the rest of 2023 as the Federal Reserve raises their effective federal funds rate, and we see one final dip down for XRP to this upward trending support line, roughly around 40 cents. Could XRP wick even lower than that as one flash crash and then bounce out of here? I think it's very safe to say that the partnerships that are taking place is laying the foundation, and this sell-off right now is due to a liquidity crunch by the Fed and them tightening on their balance sheet. And so if XRP continues to trade bearish, well, this upward trending support line is what we're watching right here. I talked about that in yesterday's video. And if we break to the downside and we see a bounce off of this, I would expect XRP to spring at some point within the next few months. Now, sitting on the RSI, we're sitting at 32 right now on the RSI, close to oversold territory. So if XRP continues to sell off and trades below 30, I would expect to spring out of here at some point. And so don't buy XRP, don't sell XRP. Obviously watch this for learning purposes only. But if XRP dips down to 41 cents, I'm going to be accumulating more XRP because I would expect to see a bounce back up to 52, potentially even 56 cents as we push through September and October. And in yesterday's video, I talked about how historically September has always been, poor performing months for stocks. And of course, liquidity in the stock market and the crypto market. For those that want to debate at how correlated that they are, most of these markets that transition away from the US dollar to try and grow your investments are pretty correlated regardless, because when the economy does something crazy, you see the markets. You saw what happened in COVID for all the markets. Everything crashed at once. And then when you see liquidity get pumped into the system from the Fed, or the CARES Act or stimulus, then you see the markets, the stock market, the precious metal market, the crypto market pump as well too. So yeah, sure, some asset classes move first and some move after, but regardless, Ripple's XRP is looking like a bullish project over the next few years. But right now, 90% are bearish, 10% are bullish. And if we look at the crypto fear and greed index, 32% right now, meaning that the closer we are to zero, the more fearful people are. The closer we are to 100, the more greedy people are getting, and they want to back up their truck and get ready for the smart investors back up their truck during fear. And from the 2023 new value report by Ripple, 250 trillion is expected by 2027, just in cross-border payments alone. So Shannon Thorpe from Wells Fargo is saying a $500 XRP price just doesn't seem like enough to facilitate that amount. So what do you guys think about that? Because interestingly enough, the total supply of XRP is 100 billion tokens, $250 trillion transacted in XRP may imply that each token would be worth an average of $2,500, they're saying. And so this estimate assumes that XRP's tokens, all of them, would be in circulation of 100 billion of them, because roughly a little over half are. And they're releasing about $1 billion a month from their escrow. So it's worth clarifying that the projected 250 trillion is for the entire cross-border payment landscape, not just for XRP-based transactions. So this would assume that XRP would completely dominate the sector, which is unlikely. Now, that's not to say that it couldn't. It absolutely could, but it's unlikely because banks are going to use other companies and they're going to use other distributed ledger technology. But XRP will be dominating that space just based on the partnerships alone that they have right now. So she contended that XRP's bullish potential lies in its position in the economic proposition of institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank.
When we talk about the price of XRP, we have to look at the debt. And central banks have an incentive to dissolve that debt right now. And they found a solution, which is blockchain. They actually are going to, in my opinion, based on the research, and also I can confirm this, that the International Monetary Fund has already agreed on a price before all this integration started to happen. So this was a few years ago. They agreed upon a price, and I got a lot of information from Linda P. Jones has a friend who worked at the Central Bank of Australia, and she said that they agreed upon a price, and it's in the thousands. Now, when we again talk about the XRP price, we have to look at the global debt, the incentive for central banks to dissolve global debt, in fact, also to utilize this source of liquidity from XRP to facilitate, transparency and moving into the digital economy. This is what they're going to be using. XRP is a financial instrument to serve the global economy.
So could that be true that the IMF already has a price set for XRP in the thousands? It's possible, but we'll have to see. Right here on the Edmond de Rothschild Fund, this was put out, and you guys know who the Rothschilds are, these families that virtually control the world. This is a 558-page report. And SBI Holdings, in 2022, the underlying equity rallied over 60% during the period as the company was caught up in the optimism surrounding cryptocurrencies. SBI owned a 8.7 stake in Ripple's XRP, with volatility in the underlying equity rising and the company's 2017 CB converted. The CBs also richened strongly, which is massive. And so SBI Holdings is a leading financial services company over in Japan, and they made headlines in the convertible bond market when it launched a dual tranche 40 billion convertible bond CBs in August of 2017. These bonds were aimed at refinancing the existing CB funding buybacks and opening up new investment avenues. And as you guys know, SBI Holdings has made some massive announcements in the space in pertaining to Ripple that I talked about in the other video. And now one thing that's interesting to know here is, on Ripple.com, on their insight on small and medium enterprises making up 90% of the world's businesses, this is another market to look at rather than just, cross-border banking payments and the derivatives market and all of that. 90% of European payment council members believe blockchain will transform the payment industry by 2025. And so Ripple's latest white paper with big opportunity in small business payments suggests that the starting gun is about to sound in a race to close the gap. Banks can aim to gain a competitive advantage by using digital assets and blockchain to improve payment offering to small and medium-sized enterprises, not just the big businesses and the big banks, but the smaller and medium-sized ones. And banks can provide faster and more affordable cross-border payments with the accessibility and the ability to access the $110 trillion business to business payment market by enabling small and medium enterprises to thrive in the global digital currency economy moving forward. And when we look at the fact that virtually everything is shifting over from brick and mortar to click and order, being perpetuated through the pandemic where everyone was shopping online, Amazon went crazy, Zoom went crazy, people were having to do business conference calls overseas, and they couldn't, go to boardroom meetings. They call them a boardroom meeting for a reason, because everyone gets bored and they fall asleep in them and they need coffee. And with Ripple striving to get into the e-commerce space, because everything is going from brick and mortar over to click and order, Amazon took off. Ripple is pioneering in that space as well too, and making massive partnerships.
What are some of the benefits that crypto payments offer e-commerce players and merchants around, areas like compliance, fraud prevention, transparency, and then, on the more, I guess those are all positive, but on the more positive side, kind of, how can e-commerce and merchants tap crypto payments for customer insights?
Yeah, so again, it's kind of harkens back to the first question we were talking about. It's kind of truly digitally native. So if you think about compliance, fraud prevention, transparency, and insights, those are all start from having rich data that's governed, that is of high quality, that you can use to go make insights about your customers, but also make sure you're complying, finding patterns of fraud, and machine learning, and all the different aspects. And so if we think about crypto starting from that point, from being particularly decentralized, trustless, immutable, it kind of by default has this great governed audit trail inside of it. And the area where the industry is figuring it out is, how do you respect privacy? How do you manage that in a way where different users have different needs? But I'd say at least foundationally, the technology starts from a place that enables these important aspects of running a business.
Totally. And looking ahead, what are you most excited about? And what does the marketplace need to be educated about for that to happen?
Yeah, so at Ripple, the thing that brought me here 7 years ago, and I've stayed at the company, is this Internet of Value vision. So the idea that you can move value of any type seamlessly around the world and very cheaply, in the same way you can send an email to anyone in the world, and not really having a second thought about how much it costs or how long it's going to take to arrive. And what we've seen kind of already is the adoption, and we definitely have crypto assets in the manner that we've been talking about, and ways that people are trying to use them. But there's increasingly tokenized assets. So that's using the same core technology, but bringing other assets that are not native to a blockchain and representing them there. That's a thing like a stable coin already being adopted in variety of payments use cases. But then you can think to other tokenized assets like real estate, gaming tokens. And one way to use those things well and kind of enable the internet value is interoperability between these assets. So at Ripple, this is why we have a product like Liquidity Hub, where you need a way to be able to exchange an asset from one type to another. When you have that interoperability layer, value can start moving, flowing freely. And it's the same way that you saw this Cambrian explosion of the internet, enabling new types of business, new types of capabilities. We'll see the same thing here.
So not only is e-commerce a massive cross-border industry, but RippleNet clients make the 100 most important cross-border payment companies back in 2021. So how many partners can you spot on this? If you guys want to post them in the comments below. When we see crypto and distributed ledger technology, Ripple side by side with Stellar Lumens. And so when we pull this up right here, Stellar just made an announcement, and we were expecting a little more from the announcement. It's a pretty cool creative commercial right here that drives excitement, but didn't really say anything about the project. It was just like it reminded me of a Matt Damon, Super Bowl type commercial saying like the brave, the bold, get into crypto, right? And so it's all about just being brave, being bold, and painting a bigger picture, but they didn't really say anything about the development. And plus the price crashed too, but hey, I don't care. That's part of the game, man. You look at this right here, and when in doubt, zoom out. The high for XLM was 68 cents. And then we go back to 2018, it was 66 cents. We're sitting at 12 cents right now. And so on the chart right here, I talked about this with this falling wedge pattern. I believe I talked about this back in January, or I even talked about this in February, where I talked about a back test of the descending resistance as support and then a bounce off of it. And that's what we're seeing right now. And so the real key here is if the altcoin market holds it together the next few months with the Federal Reserve raising their effective federal funds rate, and if Bitcoin holds it together, because if it holds it together and we don't see a sell-off, past this support of roughly 11 cents, give or take 0.115 to, 111, even down to 10 cents, 0.107 right here, which is the 200 moving average. If we don't see a sell-off below this, then I believe XLM will continue to trade bullish. If we see a sell-off below this, I would expect XLM to drop back down to about 9.5 cents right down here. And so on the fibs, if I draw the Fibonacci retracement, a retracement from the high of 2021, 3.82 would be 35 cents. A 50% retracement would be 43 cents. 0.618 would be about 52 cents. 786 would be a 64-cent retracement for XLM. And so I believe at some point that's going to happen. That's about a 420% retracement right there. No guarantees there, but that would come at the backs of a bull market rally for Bitcoin, ETF approval, and ultimately, if we dip lower this year and we work our way out of here, I would expect massive bullish price action for XLM coming forward leading into 2025. Now, the real question is if we go into the depression stage before we break out of there, or if we just continue to trend higher, followed by consolidation periods trending higher, and we see continuous adoption of Ripple's technology, of Stellar's technology. But if you guys check out their website, it's pretty cool looking. Go give it a little lookaroo. Check it out. Good stuff. That they're always improving stuff, because what's visually appealing, is going to attract a lot of people to look at it. But what's the utility behind it is going to keep companies like MoneyGram, Circle, Fireblocks, LateMex, and other companies around for the partnerships. And so Stellar, Lumens, another massive project that I'm bullish on. If we're looking at Bitcoin right here, very similar to 2019 is what's happening right now. Now, it doesn't mean that this is going to happen moving forward, but when Bitcoin broke below the 200 moving average, if I were to pull it up, in 2019, we saw this drastic sell-off below the 200 moving average, consolidating below it, retesting it several times, another dip down to $7,300. And then when the 200 moving average in red crossed the 50 moving average in blue, we saw a massive spike up for Bitcoin to about $10,000. And so will we see something similar to this? That was a rally of 42% for Bitcoin. Could that happen? I mean, right now we saw Bitcoin bounce from 25,000 upwards of $26,500. So could the rally that we saw in 2019 be starting right now as the 50 moving average is crossing the 200 moving average, very similar to 2019, followed by a massive sell-off back down below the 200 and the 50 moving average, as we had massive volatility in 2019 to 2020 before, this took place. So we're seeing some similarities to 2019. However, this rally right here was a lot more parabolic compared to this rally right here. But we see this upward trending support line right here in yellow, very similar to this upward trending support line right here in yellow when it broke below it and the 200 moving average and coming back up almost to retest it. Could we be seeing something like that where Bitcoin sees a bounce up to maybe $29,000, maybe $30,000, and then we just see Bitcoin continue to trend downwards for the rest of this year leading into 2024, and then Bitcoin halves, we find a bottom, somewhere down here at $20,000, maybe lower, maybe higher. We find a bottom within this range. ETFs, mass ETF approval, BlackRock, Grayscale, Fidelity, other companies by the SEC, and then we see Bitcoin go on a parabolic bull run out of here. This is what I'm expecting. Now, it doesn't mean that this is going to happen, but this is what I'm expecting. The chart is looking bearish right now for the rest of this year with little volatility to the upside. And so for those of you expecting to get in the market and make $1 million or become a millionaire right now off of 100 XRP or 100 XLM, well, if you had to put this into perspective, if you had $100 in XRP or XLM, and we were to see a 786 retracement, that'd be about 400%. You'd be turning your $100 to about $400 or $420. So that's not life-changing income. The life-changing income with $100 comes from a decade out. We're talking like 2030, and XLM and XRP are some of the best plays. Bitcoin is one of the safest plays in crypto. I know it's not really safe considering the volatility, but volatility is the price that you pay for opportunity. So while you continue to back up the truck and, dollar cost average for the dip. If you want to learn our #1 way to earn passive income online without any crypto trading experience, then go to bullrunners.com, click the big button on the page, subscribe to our video newsletter, enter your name, email address, and phone number, and we'll send you updates like this so you can be in the know on what's happening in the crypto market so you can create more passive income. Because as the spending power of the dollar goes down in value, that's a fact. Blockchain technology continues to go up in interest. That's the truth. And together, we're backing up our truck all the way to the bank, grabbing the bags, packing them and stacking them, leaving no bags left behind because the spending power of the dollar keeps going down. And together, we're all going camping on the beaches of the moon. I will see you on the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.